Anyway. Yeah, it's like, apparently someone tried to do, like, a hit piece on him or something, and it backfired spectacularly. So, let's see what this one was about.
Hey, what's up guys, Rev here. So today we're going to be talking about a video that's making the rounds on social media for all the wrong reasons. It comes from a channel titled Catastrophic Claire Rar. Yes, very rar XD, Quirk
Okay.
Chungus, Hot Topic, etc., etc. But the video people are talking about is her latest one titled...
Wait. Rez, you forgot Can I Has Cheeseburger. You can't forget that Can I Has Cheeseburger.
Japan wants to censor anime Asmondgold reaction. Now, in this video, not only does she call out Asmondgold, but she also calls out the entire anime and manga industry, as well as Japanese society, which, according to her, is so predatory and dangerous, pretty much no woman is safe in Japan. Now, let's start with the thumbnail itself. It is pretty heinous. It is implying very heavily that Asmondgold is trying to protect predators. Now, what justifies in her mind this slander? Well, it comes from a clip.
You've gotta be kidding me. You mean Rez? No, she went after Asmond. This is her video, where she makes the thumbnail look like Asmond is saying that PDFs have freedom of speech when it comes to talking about PDFing young adults. So, I'm guessing blatant clickbait. Like, this is one of the most blatant of clickbait right here. It gets worse. I can't wait.
From a recent Asmondgold video where he's talking about censorship of anime and manga.
It's about going in favor of free expression and free speech without having a unelected cabal of companies acting as a cartel that are behaving as censors for that speech and expression.
Like, it's just so sad that people...
Oh, sweet fuck. Chat. This still photo alone kinda tells you a lot of what you need to know. Holy shit. Okay, this is gonna be good.
People are saying this and it's just going unchecked, and I just wanted to say my piece on it.
So basically, what Asmondgold is saying is that groups like the United Nations or payment processors like Visa or MasterCard should have no say in the production of anime and manga in Japan. And hot take,
he's right.
He's correct. These organizations have really no sense being involved with these things. It's way beyond their reach. They shouldn't be controlling what's going on in the anime and manga industries. And anyone who disagrees with that has to basically bootlick the United Nations, which we'll talk about them later in the video. They are a terrible organization that has been going after Japan for decades now, trying to demonize and categorize a lot of fictional content as illegal, as she will do in her own video. So let's let her continue on. This is actually
here we go.
One of the clips she posted herself on a Twitter, but let's give it a listen.
But in 2024... it's still legal to own anime and manga child pornography. And let me tell you, it is a booming industry.
So, as always, I think there's something very disturbing about likening real-life victimization to manga panels, but as always...
Okay. I could be jumping on this a little bit early. She is correct in that there is not manga, but there is hentai, usually doujin, that does have young humans, I'll just say. And there is some PDFness, but those are mostly doujin.
Sorry to interrupt this, but did Dev go after Asmon, or did this wannabe goth, cyberpunk person? Cheer 100.
DJ, just watch. It's It's her. All will be explained. But yeah, it's like, it is not the mainstream manga industry that puts in blatant PDF. That is like hentai and specifically doujin that does that. So it's a false equivalency. Correct, Riot. That's why I said primarily it's doujin. That is the primary, I'll call it, source of this PDFness in hentai. It's not the mainstream manga. First, it's not in a lot of mainstream hentai to begin with. It damn sure isn't in the mainstream manga. This is not a prevalent issue in regular produced Japanese comics, just for lack of a better word, because manga, hentai, it's like, it's all there. It's not in the mainstream. This is primarily individuals with doujin. That's the primary source of it. And Tornado, that was not PDFness. I don't believe. I believe all of the characters in Redo of Healer were of proper age. At least in terms of Japan, anyway. So it is a fault. Was he? Okay, but Tornado, you also have to remember that Redo of Healer was in the context that it was bad. It was supposed to actually make you feel very uncomfortable, which it did a damn good job of it. It was not supposed to be sexy. It was not supposed to be corn. It was literally supposed to make you feel deeply uncomfortable with it. And it succeeded. It made you hate the people that he was trying to get revenge on afterwards. So that is a completely different context. The context we're talking about here with what she's talking about is basically hentai, which it's supposed to be it's animated corn, essentially. And there's two very different things. So she's eliciting a very false equivalency here.
If you don't like certain aspects of anime or manga or just fictional content generally, that's okay. That's your prerogative. You're allowed to not like things, but it doesn't justify you.
I got to keep reminding people, age of consent in Japan. Since 1903 was 13. It was only raised to 16 in 2023. I just looked it up. Cheer 100.
Yeah. So yeah, when Redo came out, it was still legal. It was still legal age of consent. However, that was the key thing there. Redo of Healer and other in its same thread, there was no consent because it was supposed to be uncomfortable. It was telling an uncomfortable story. It was not done to service corn.
Demonizing and attacking an entire nation of people as well as the related mediums. And on top of that, if you're going to create this standard for other people where in the video she says if a character's under 18 and sexualized, that's CP. Well, that standard's not going to just be applied to the people you're attacking. It's also going to be applied to yourself. And if you look through her Twitter account, I mean, you have characters like this from Sailor Moon, this character...
And by the way, what Rev just said there.
CP. Well, that standard's not... In the video she says if a character's under 18 and sexualized, that's CP. Well, that's...
Again, as you guys have been saying here, the country of origin for these things is Japan. Japan's legal age of consent is not 18. Japan is under no obligation to make their manga and their anime to the standards of the United States. They have zero obligation to do so. It's in their fucking country. The United States chooses to import it for people to buy. It's not Japan's problem. That's the problem of the country of import. So again, it's a false fucking equivalency. It's her trying to shove her ideology down the throats of an entire fucking country. This is pure fucking entitlement right here. Because she feels entitled that she can just put her ideas on someone.
But I watch stuff like Wicked City and Vampire Hunter D, and the Berserk, Golden Arc, kind of stuff. What am I missing? Sorry for interrupting again, Cheer 100.
DJ, just, it's a 12-minute video. Just watch. Just watch.
Standard's not going to just be applied to the people you're attacking, it's also going to be applied to yourself. And if you look through her Twitter account, I mean, you have characters like this from Sailor Moon. This character's 16 years old. She made AI-generated art with obviously some sexual aspects to it, with the hashtag...
Yeah, hang on.
Look through her Twitter account, I mean, you have characters like this from Sailor Moon. This character's 16 years old. She made AI-generated art...
16 years old. And she gave this 16-year-old character tits like this.
With obviously some sexual
really?
Aspects to it.
Hypocritical much?
Booba, and she would do that again, same character with hashtag thick thighs, posting this that she created with AI as well.
Jesus.
That would make her a hypocrite under her own standards.
Like, don't get me wrong. It's gorgeous artwork. But she's a goddamn hypocrite. She's literally sexualizing these, in her words, underage characters. And, well, this looks like, this is Neptune. I don't know who this is supposed to be. I'm not entirely sure who this is supposed to be. I've kind of fallen out with the Sailor Moon lore. I think actually, I don't know anything about Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. Is this supposed to be? This isn't Pluto. I know that. So Pluto has like darker hair, but regardless.
On top of that, she's a big Evangelion fan. I mean, if you've watched the anime, you know there's a lot of fan service featuring underage characters, so clearly she either didn't watch this or she's just a massive hypocrite.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, because I always check this.
Oh yeah, and I'm pausing a lot, I'm sorry. But yeah, Evangelion? There was a very certain scene in Evangelion, was there not, where a certain main character who is a teenager, like 15, 16 years old, does something when his friend or maybe love interest, I can't remember, passes away. She does something rather I know, Tyson, I'm trying to be deliberately obtuse with this. She does something rather adult. Oh, she was just in a coma. She was passed away. Okay. Well, when she was in a coma, Shinji did something not great when she was in a coma. And no, it wasn't SA. It was like basically like self-abuse. When she was in a coma, it was violent self-enrichment is what he did. Yeah, he had a mental break and did that. That was in Evangelion, but she loves that.
Didn't watch
this,
was a kid. She's just a massive hypocrite. And of course, you know, because I always check this.
Real one. Whoever put this in, absolute real one. The voice is Hugh Jackman, by the way. And he plays the Easter Bunny.
Okay.
Oh, he's so great. I love his voice in this movie. I love his character in this movie. He's such like a hard ass rabbit. And you don't see it a lot, so yes, definitely smash.
Ding ding ding, she's a furry too. Yeah, pretty much anytime you see.
Well, I don't. Did she actually? I don't know if she's had any problem with furries though. I mean, I haven't heard her saying anything disparaging about furries, so that honestly, I don't care.
See someone talking about anime and manga and trying to
Oh,
demonize
that I know,
it,
Rupert
they
Spartan.
almost
He was
always
treated like
consume the
shit.
exact same content themselves, and on top of that, they're a furry. It pretty much happens every single time. But let's continue on with her clip here.
You can literally go nearly to any massive manga stores and
I don't know, Leo.
areas in the major cities in Japan, and you will find areas of that manga store that is specifically for Lolita characters.
So this is a very simple point, but it's
Fuck. We know how Rev feels about people disparaging the lolly. We know. Rev's not gonna go off. He is too cool-headed for that. But this is gonna get good.
it's definitely always worth making if she considers this stuff in the background to be CP. By her own standard, she downloaded it, probably uncensored, and then posted it for thousands of people to see online. By her own standard, she just downloaded and then redistributed CP. Like, are you crazy in your mind or something?
Hang on, let me let him cook
Like,
for a second.
why would you ever think this is okay while you're demonizing it at the same time? It's just it just shows how stupid all these arguments are and how hypocritical.
Okay. I am gonna have to disagree slightly with Rev on this one. Because she downloaded an image specifically to use to emphasize her point. So she downloaded this image, censored it appropriately. She was using this as a visual effect for her point. That, like, you guys know me. Context is everything, and in that context, I'm not gonna bash on her for that. I'm not gonna bash on her for downloading this because she saw it however she came across it. If she was researching this and she came across this video, came across this still image, and she said, this would be good to make my point, and downloaded it, censored it to put on the video to make a point. I don't consider that to make her hypocritical. Because plenty of people talk about stuff that they strongly disagree with, and they still put up images of that thing that they disagree with to emphasize their point. Right, yeah, if you wanted to go with that angle, sure. Again, yes, she downloaded it and she considers it CP, but how is it not hypocritical? I consider it not hypocritical if she's not, again, let me emphasize, this is why it was downloaded in the first place, is to use as a visual example in the video that she has made to emphasize her point. Now, if it was beyond that, we're now looking at a totally different story. If she used this ad to emphasize her point, but then later is looking at it like, okay, totally different story. I'm gonna say in the context of this video that she has made, specifically, how else is she gonna, like, it's an example to exemplify her point. What if this exact example is actual CP? If you're talking about, like, actually showcasing it, I wouldn't have the same stance because it's pushing it too far. By showing actual CP, like, legitimately, this is showing book covers on a shelf in a store. That's what this is showing. Obviously, this was like a photo of it was taken of it or something because she believes it. I'm still gonna disagree because if you want to have visual examples, yeah, Yeah, there you go, Andrea. News broadcasts where they have heavily blurred images, blurred CP images as backgrounds behind news anchors when reporting a case of CP or something associated. So using the image as an example, heavily edited seems to have a legit standing. And that's what I'm talking about. And exactly, it is again the Western standard being enforced on something else. So Japan does not consider the CP. We're kind of jumping down a fucking a twisty-turny rabbit hole on the legitimacy of her just using this image and downloading this image to use it. We're going down a twisty-turny rabbit hole where it could be taken in multiple different ways, and we're kind of focusing on it a little bit too hard instead of getting back to the point where she's already proven herself to be a hypocrite. She has, with her AI-generated Sailor Moon. So she's already proven herself to be a hypocrite with this one little thing. I'm inclined a bit to say that being used as a visual example like this is not the same. It's not in the same vein as the AI art that she created about the Sailor Moon characters, which are teenagers. Let me put it that way. It's not in the same vein of hypocrisy. So we'll call it that and move on.
Critical all these people are.
Characters. And Lolita, if you don't know what that means, it means young girl. And
it literally just means like cute fashion, by the way.
This is the problem that the
yes. You know where she's getting where she's getting the quote-unquote definition of Lolita from? She's using the Lolita definition as the Western usage of Lolita. That's what she's doing. The Japanese don't use the word Lolita in the same way. That's a big, quite. She is literally ascribing the Western version of the word Lolita to a Japanese concept, where the Japanese use the word in a completely different context. Bobcat, that's what I'm referencing. The book, later the movie, that's where she's getting it from the book Lolita, or the movie Lolita, about a young girl who seduces an adult. That's where she's using it from. That's not the Japanese version. That's not how the Japanese use the word. So again, she's trying to force Western ideology onto an Eastern concept.
The UN wants them to address. Honestly, I don't care if the character is over 18. If the character is over 18, I'm just gonna be like, cool, yeah, whatever you're into, man. If you want to look at that, that's cool.
Which means she's not cool. Which means she doesn't care. She doesn't care if the character is canonically over 18. She's still like, I don't care. That kind of speaks more to her mindset, doesn't it? This is, maybe some projection on her part. Yeah. Don't forget, it's usually the ones that protest the loudest that are the ones that are most guilty. So she's saying, even if the character is canonically over 18, she doesn't care. The character looks young. Really, madam? So, do you say that about people that actually have legitimate medical conditions that have prevented them from aging in appearance beyond the age of 12 or 13? That is a legitimate medical condition that people suffer from, where physically they do not appear to age. It's like not Peter Pan syndrome. I forget what the actual medical condition is. But there's a medical condition where people do not age, they do not appear to age physically after, like, around the age of, it's like usually around the age of 13 or so is usually when the appearance of their aging ceases. Obviously, they still age, they can grow old, and they can pass away from old age, but visually speaking, they do not appear to age beyond roughly 13 years of age or so. So is she saying that she doesn't give a fuck, that she considers those people that are adults, they just look very, very young? She doesn't consider them adults? Is that what she's saying? Well, that's pretty uninclusive. Yeah. And I beg of you, chat, please don't bring up Benjamin Button. I damn near cry every time I think about the story of Benjamin Button, because the end of that movie was so fucking heartbreaking, I cried my eyes out. Please don't bring up Benjamin Button, I beg you. It's a tragic story. Yes, Cortez, it is an incredibly rare condition. It is. But it's worth bringing up. Short, petite women is another one that she is basically just going, fuck you, I don't care. I'm judging you based upon your looks. That's what she's saying. She's judging people based upon their looks. Pretty fucking shallow for an activist. Warner syndrome. Thank you, Eki. I forgot what it was called. Thank you.
But not children. That is so up.
So she's trying to basically mask what the UN is doing. She's saying this is all about protecting kids, and it's only targeting these specific types of characters she's talking about, but that's a gross misrepresentation of what they're trying to do.
Cheer 100. Let's make Ember cry with Biddy's Cheer 100.
Thank you, Hefe.
Do at the UN. So here's what they're actually doing. They've been targeting Japan for many, many years, and they can't really explain why they're singling out Japan in the first place. But anyways, this is what they're talking about with some of these pushes that the United Nations are doing. The final observation expressed concern that pornography, video games, manga, and other animated products may promote gender and sexual orientation-based violence against women and girls, and recommended that existing legal measures and monitoring programs be effectively implemented to address the production and distribution of pornography, video games, and animated products that promote discriminatory gender stereotypes and reinforce sexual violence against women and girls. So it's not just these specific young characters she's talking about. It's anything that promotes discriminatory gender stereotypes, whatever the hell that means. And without any sort of research or basis to make these claims, they say that these things in fictional content are somehow leading to real-life abuse. These people are basically just a repackaging of 90s soccer moms who used to say violent video games make violent people, right? Yeah. It's this.
And Red is right. It has transitioned from violent video games are going to make our kids killers to Japanese anime and manga is going to make our kids PDFs.
We need to take back alternative looks. These women don't deserve to make looks that I generally find attractive. Cheer 100.
Lil Tysell, that's the rub, isn't it? The alternative looks that you and other individuals find attractive is starting to become unattractive because such a strong majority of the people adopting these looks are ugly people. Not physically, but emotionally and mentally. That's kind of the rub, isn't it?
The same argument, it's just so woke, it's backwards. And now we're having people trying to justify these connections between anime, manga, and what have you to predatory behavior, and the only thing they're working on is their own emotions. They have no actual
Not really,
proof of
Tysell.
anything. And looking at the standard about promoting discriminatory gender stereotypes, I mean, I'm pretty sure this is the kind of stuff they're talking about. This is one of her own posts from very recently. What? I mean, look at not only the character that would probably fall under these United Nations standards here, but also the hashtags. Just got to put out hashtag Gooner, hashtag Goon, hashtag Degen. Very interesting stuff. But let's talk about the UN for a second. So I can't imagine bootlicking the United Nations. It couldn't be me. They are pretty much what is the equivalent
Oh my fucking god. What did I say, chat? The ones who worry about it the most are the ones that have that kind of thing to hide. What does this say? The top children's rights official jailed after pleading guilty to 5 charges related to the SA and indecent blank of a young person. So ones that crow about it the loudest are the ones that have those exact same skeletons in their closet.
Of an international criminal organization. What else do you describe them as? So even some of the top children's rights officials in the United Nations have been jailed for charges relating to the abuse of children. In fact, there are endless articles you can find that are just
Wait, I want to see what that Twitter post was.
the abuse of children. In fact, there are
The UN wants to protect children. Go fuck yourself if you actually think that, because no one with a brain buys it. UN peacekeepers ran a child blank ring in Haiti. Charity sex scandal. UN staff responsible for 60,000 SAs in a decade. Wow. And who thing right here. The UN doesn't want to censor normal anime. They want to censor child blank and the exploitation of women, which is fair, by videos on YouTube. And this person basically fires back with actual facts. Oops.
endless articles you can find that are just so beyond disturbing. Report finds UN employs 3,300 predators responsible for 60,000 R words in the last 10 years. Here's another one saying UN peacekeepers ran a child S-ring in Haiti, and it goes on and on and on.
Oh, Moros.
Like, they are genuinely a very dangerous organization, and you have to rely on their word and what they're trying to do to justify banning anime and manga. Like, these people are not to be trusted whatsoever. But she continues on here.
And that's what the UN wants them to address, because it's actually...
Maybe the UN should address its own fucking house first before it goes after someone else's house. That might not be a bad idea, don't you think?
Actually scary being a woman in Japan. They literally have specific train carriages that women can take to not share carriages with men during busy travel times so that they don't get sexually abused or touched inappropriately or have pictures of their upskirts taken just trying to get home from work. Or
so this pretty much is where it always ends up, right? So it begins with, I don't like this anime and manga, blah, 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 blah. And then it turns into just, well, I mean, what else do you call it? Racism. They're basically trying to imply that the entire nation of Japan is so predatory that no woman is safe in that country.
Let's be specific. She's saying that the entire male population of Japan is predatory. She's blanket statementing Japan. She's being both racist and sexist. She's dead without her actually saying the words. Reading between the lines, like most logical people can, she's being racist and sexist, saying that Japanese men are predators. That's what she's saying. That's about as fucking brain dead as the schools in America that tried to demand that girls have not wear short shorts, or demanded that girls not wear off-the-shoulder tops, or what their skirt length should be, because, and I'm paraphrasing here, boys can't control themselves, so we're going to make the girls change their wardrobe. That was real.
Cheer 100. Do you think your coworkers are smarter than her? Lol.
No comment. Yeah, she's a modern feminist, which means she's a modern idiot. It's the same fucking thing. It's basically saying men are evil. This is another variant of man-hating. Flat out. Like I guarantee you, she didn't actually, she hasn't said it in the video, but her rant about anime and manga?
Cheer 100. I watched the original video of Asmondgold, and the context of the censorship was foreign nations adding towels and garments that weren't there before. She purposefully took this to the gutter direction.
Color me shocked by this. But here's something she's very conveniently not addressing. With the anime and manga about women and girls of age in sexual position, of age in Japan. Remember, this is Japanese oriented, which means up until 2023, the age of consent was 13. That women and girls were sexualized in Japanese anime and manga, but they were still of age of consent. And she's basically targeting men for this. Without actually saying the words, she's targeting men. She came really fucking close. They're talking about Japan's subway, like women-only cars. Here's a newsflash for her. Women do enjoy that stuff too. Women do enjoy those manga and those anime as well. Is it as high of a percentage as men? No. No, I would certainly not. But women do enjoy it too. Why has she refused to call out women as PDFs in that case? Very noticeable absence of talking about that. Yeah, many of the artists are women that draw that pencil or ink these anime or manga that involve women and of age girls in sexual situations. But she's very conveniently not bringing them up. It's all about men. She's a goddamn man-hater. It was a glitch, DJ. I did not burp. It was a glitch. It's it tends to go a little wonky when my voice pitches up, like when I get angry. Oh, I have no doubt, Revan. In her mind, I have no doubt that she thinks it's impossible for women to be PDF. When how many teachers in the United States have been fired and or arrested for being PDFs? It's quite a few, isn't there, chat? Mm-hmm.
And it's an absolutely outrageous thing.
I hope she does, Mike.
Say.
I
yes,
hope she does.
There are sex crimes in Japan, just like there are throughout the entire world, but it doesn't make Japan unique in any sort of a way. And the only justification this person has is because they produce anime and manga, which that somehow makes them special. I mean, of course, reported sex crimes are sometimes a misleading number because people just don't report that they're victimized. But this person's from Ireland, trying to be a white savior and wagging their finger at Japan. Look at the rates at Ireland versus Japan. Again, reports aren't the most reliable thing, but I think maybe, just maybe, you should sit this conversation out. But let's wrap this up here. One more quote I want you guys to listen to.
And I think if you're...
Oh, yeah, Moros, that was earlier in the video. Rev showcased a couple of her AIs of, I don't think it was Mars, it was other Sailor Scouts, but yes, he showed that early in the video.
A real person with a real conscience, and your heart goes out to the women of Japan who have to put up with these men, then you should be on the side of UN for them to be more censored and not allow for this to happen.
No words, ladies and gentlemen. You have to take
mouth. Squeak. Oh God, that clip. I squeaked so badly at the end there. That came out so badly. No, I have no doubt she's never been to Japan. Absolutely not. But I want you to take note of something. Listen to her final statement here. watch her face and listen to her words.
The Japan, with a real conscience. I think if you're a real person with a real conscience and your heart goes out to the women of Japan who have to put up with these men, then you should be on the side of UN for them to be more censored and not allow for this to happen.
That was the most robotic sounding conclusion of what was supposed to be passionate. She sounded robotic. Like, and look at her face. Her face was just dead the whole time. No expression. She had no fucking expression this entire time she was making this quote-unquote impassioned speech. Honestly, I questioned whether or not she believes the fucking thing she said. Wait, did she make this just for clickbait? Yeah, like reading from a script and badly reading from a script. Like there was no emotion in what she just said. There was no expression on their face. Like, chat. Granted, you probably can't see too much of obviously I am limited on the way that I can show expression on my face. But when I talk about something and I get passionate about it, you guys can hear it in my fucking voice. You can hear it in the tone of my voice. And even if you're reading from a script, you can put emotion into your fucking voice. Like, if you are not capable of reading a script that you wrote and putting emotion into your voice when you're supposedly reading something that you claim to feel passionate about, take a few minutes and memorize the fucking thing. Get the highlights. And actually act like you give a fuck. This last closing statement that was probably supposed to be the most passionate of all of it, because this was supposed to be some bullshit call to arms, I think, was completely passionless. Anybody watching this would just go, she doesn't care. She did this for money. Duran, I don't care. I don't care if she didn't make the script. Whether she made the script, whether she didn't make the script. Read the goddamn script before you actually broadcast. Take 5-10 minutes to read the script, so that when you make what is supposed to be an impassioned statement that you claim to be passionate about, you actually sound passionate. Not sounding like, you must do this. You must stand with the UN. You must stand with the UN to fight for the rights of Japanese women. Thank you. Please turn the disc over to side 2. Like, seriously, what the fuck? Yeah, it almost feels like she did it for clicks. It does. And by the way, can I just point this out, chat? I kinda sorta don't like to do this, but in this case I do. Notice this. How many views from 7 days? From 7 days ago? How many views? It's not on her page? Gee, I wonder why. What? 1.8k views in 7 days. Now, hang on, I want to check something real quick. Bear with me for just one moment while I check something.
Cheer 100. So are male heroes, gladiators, and most action males have to wear hijabs to avoid women sexualizing then?
Well, who fucking knows? Where is it? I had one. Let me find it. Is this it? Alright, I'll use this as an example. So, hang on. Give me one. Now, you know, I'm not even. Let me put it this way. The videos that I put out about Ubisoft, where it was just me, just talking, you know, without a script, just talking. From when was this? Like 2 days ago? I think I put this out like 2 days ago. 4 days ago. Yeah, I put it out 4 days ago. Has half the views. Has got like 700 views. From 4 days ago. And that was just me talking. And I have comparatively fewer subscribers than she does. I'm just saying.
UN for them to be more censored and not allow for this to happen.
No words, ladies and gentlemen. You have to take the side of the UN here and ban this anime and manga. Otherwise, you just don't care about women. I guess that's the route we're going with this one. This is insane. Also, I think her mind would explode if she found out that a very large portion of hentai artists are women. So, like, what are we?
That's what we said.
Just men. This went from I don't like anime and manga to there's a big predatory problem in Japan, and also Japanese men are somehow uniquely dangerous. I mean, that's how far it went. All you had to do was say, I don't like these things in certain anime and manga. I'm just going to avoid them. But no, it goes to this level, and it always does for some reason. But that's...
Thank you for the follow, Bluebird Whispers. Thank you. Yeah, she made this. You know what? I feel like she was probably jumping on a bandwagon.
Cheer 100 sounds like a bad ad read.
It does. It does. But I've like, this feels like her jumping on a bandwagon. 100%. She saw this article, maybe saw other YouTubers making videos about it. And so she made this video, or she you know, like, no. God, I can't believe I'm this stupid. No, you know what she did? She tried to capitalize on his name. That's why she made this video. She made this video because she was trying to capitalize on Asmondgold's name. She thought by putting his name in the title saying Asmondgold Reaction, it would click it, and she hashtagged it. It would trigger the algorithm and she'd get people to watch her video. I'm so stupid I don't know why I didn't say this before. That's what this is all about. This was a 6.5-minute video specifically to clickbait to get views. Trading on Asmondgold's name. Didn't work all that great, did it? Well, I thought the video was taken down. How could you tell?
That's going to do it for this video. I thought this was pretty insane, so I wanted to talk about this with you guys. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Yeah. But then again, like, people like that make movies like that, or movies, for God's sake, that's being obscenely generous. They don't... They are doing it for the clicks. Exactly, yes. She did it for the clicks because Asmondgold reacted to her video. So she deliberately made this follow-up video to try and capitalize on Asmondgold's name. And unfortunately, Reb's video title for this is a little bit disingenuous. The majority of the video is not about an Asmondgold hit piece. It's more along the lines of her blame dead defense of basically censorship of Japanese anime and manga is completely clueless. So the Asmondgold part of this was slim to none, honestly, with this video. So it's, yeah, not much of Asmondgold there, other than basically his name. And she hashtagged it, so she was trying to capitalize on